Hello everybody! So here is Lenny Delir again, and I'm here to talk to you about love. We will see if the cat decides to come forth or not. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you about love. For those of you who follow both of my channels, or those few of you who follow both of my channels, you may have noticed that I already made another video on that channel in a more futuristic slash acting kind of way. That's more my artistic channel. It's the place where I put everything that I feel more inside in some way. So it's my art channel, so to speak. Anyway, what I said in that video is something that I actually want to share here. And I want to share it here because it's really important in matters of personal growth, and we can talk about Enneagram in this sense. So I'm going to talk about love, and love is, as you know, a core pattern of Enneagram 2 and Enneagram 4 in particular. Also Enneagram 3, but a lot less. It's more of an Enneagram 2 and Enneagram 4 pattern. And we have Enneagram 2 as the love seeker. So the type that does everything and leaves revolving around love. Anything that the person thinks love is. And this is exactly my point. Enneagram 4 instead is the tragic romantic, basically the super romantic type that lives a life struggling for that love that is going to save them. So they're basically the looking for a Prince Charming saving me kind of type. So thinking of these two types and watching the series Charmed, with the last season in particular, it struck me that the two pattern is actually not just a two thing. There is something going on out there that deserves some attention in matters of personal growth. So what is it? Enneagram 4s teach us that love is something that can give life a meaning, that love is something that can push us to find the best version of ourselves. It is what pushes Enneagram 4s in their quest for self-growth and self-search. So love is something for Enneagram 4s that is enlightening and life-enhancing. Whereas what concerns Enneagram 2s, they start from a pattern of not recognizing love and not knowing exactly what love is, to growing up and finding out what actually unconditional love is. The growth of Enneagram 2s goes exactly in the direction of learning that they are loved and what love actually is. Which in this specific moment doesn't sound particularly easy to me. I'm not saying it's not possible. It will happen, and it does happen. But it's not particularly easy because a lot of people out there, most people out there, are not really concerned with love. What they're mostly concerned about is having physical relationships. People tend to think that love is having that person next to you, sitting next to you, shoulder to shoulder, and having physical contact with the person. When I hear talking about distance relationships, they seem like a chimera, something that is unreachable, utopia, something that is impossible to let live and to shape because of the physical distance. But love is not a physical thing. Love has nothing to do with the physical realm. What has to do with the physical realm is sex. It's physical attraction, and love is not physical attraction. Socrates, I think it was, no, I was exchanging philosophers. It was Plato. Plato used to say that love had different levels, and that is absolutely true. What Plato said was that there was the Eros, which is the physical love, and there was what we call platonic love, which is a spiritual love. All these shades of love have their particular name. I don't remember them all. But anyway, what I'm talking about here is physical love versus spiritual love. So, thinking of Charmed, we have the fight between good and evil, and in many forms and in many ways, good and evil are two sides of the same coin. A lot of the time, evil is simply a distorted, a twisted reading of something neutral that, read in some other way, would actually be good. So love and physical attraction, physical sex, basically. Love and sex are two different things. And I think it's not a coincidence that in all the languages I'm aware of, there are actually two expressions, which are having sex and making love. So my point is that what we are seeking, what we are looking for in life is actually love, some form of spiritual bond, some form of emotional and spiritual bond with another human being that is enhancing for the soul, that is fulfilling and that gives us happiness. We are looking for happiness. But when it comes to making sacrifices, when it comes to working on love, a lot of people, actually, I'm not included in those, lucky for me, and others will not be, I hope. But what a lot of people tend to do is choosing sex over love. The fear that the person is not going to be there physically, the fear not to have physical contact with the person, overtakes the whole relationship. And that is what creates issues in actually finding love. This is one of the reasons why there are so many divorces out there, why relationships do not hold in time, because there is no effort into actually creating an emotional and spiritual bond with the other person. Creating an emotional and spiritual bond with the other person actually means to take time apart from each other. This is unluckily something extremely important, and it's explained in psychology via the idea of internalizing the figure of the parent, which is something that Enneagram 4s are particularly good at. Since 4s feel or are abandoned from infancy, they create within themselves an image, a strong image of the parent. And this strong image of the parent is some kind of a placebo for the pain of the distance from the parent. The problem with Enneagram 4s is that they create this image as a perfect image of the not a faithful, like not a right and correct image of the parents with words and all, but rather they take the positives of the parent and they internalize only the positives, and they idealize the form of love, which turns into love not being fulfilling when it's real and present in reality. Like when the person is there, the Enneagram 4 is going to see only the flaws. When the person is not there, they're only going to see the positives, the positive attributes. So that creates a push and pull kind of behavior that the Enneagram 4 has. When the person is there, they kind of push them away. And when the person is not there, they kind of pull them towards them, because they have this conflict inside of them that they want the person there, but they actually are not able to relate with the person when the person is there. So, as I said at the beginning, Plato was right that there was a need of all levels of love to create a healthy relationship. But what I'm focusing on here now is actually the spiritual aspect, because it is the one that is most lacking in the reality of the world we live in. And I think Charmed is a very good series that shows very well what I'm talking about. It's very centered around the theme of love, not only from a relationship, a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife point of view, but also sisterly love, parents love, grandparents love, friendship, and all the kinds of love that you can have out there. It is not necessary to have the person right there to love. And this is something that I think a lot of people, not only Enneagram 2s, need to learn. That love is actually something that lives on many different planes. There is the spiritual plane, which is very important, more important from many aspects than the physical plane. So I hope this gave food for thought and it helped you in some way. Tips for personal growth from Looney Deliria. This is everything I have about the matter, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.